Hi there, folks. My name's NoVoid24, and welcome to an impromptu, overdue, and yet again technically challenged episode of the Three Grumpy Simmers. It has been one hell of a morning, afternoon, evening for us, let me just assure you that. So, I'm going to introduce my other grumpy aficionados. I'm going to introduce Sergio from Helisimmer.com.
How are you doing?
And I haven't got a witty introduction for purple hat wearing BelGeode today. I'm very sorry. I feel like I am letting the team down without having some witty
No,
introduction.
no, you're not,
That was
because
that was
we
the
we
whole
already
reason
went
why
through
we did it.
this, and there's stuff that the viewers will never see.
Fortunately, never
It
see.
was your best material. I must commend you on that, but
Unfortunately, folks, you should never work with children or animals when you're recording live television. But leaving that aside for a mystery for a future day. Why are we here? Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are assembled here today to discuss the, let's be honest, I was about to say the unusual nature of this developer to do this, but I realized that actually no, it is actually in the nature to do exactly this. Drop these announcements out of the blue and out of nowhere and surprise everyone. And yes, of course, we are talking about Microsoft's recent, in the last few days, announcement that they are they have a confirmed release date of their upcoming simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator. They have a hard release date for us to be able to get grubby little hands on it as the flight simulation public. So we wanted to take,
and that date is
and that date is, in case you have been under a rock, is August the 18th. So at the time of this recording, literally it is a month away. So it's been quite the journey, as it has been literally just on a year ago when we were first made aware of its even existence. And on that day, as Drew remembers, he was out enjoying his dinner. And he saw the
yes.
team of Orbix come back in looking like they had seen the second coming of Jesus. Um, am I
That's
wrong?
pretty accurate.
Am I wrong? So
That was an insane evening. It was just we were in shock and we were just looking left and right and we just saw the teams coming into the hotel like some very with very heavy looks on their faces. Some I remember a guy. Actually, I think it was one of the guys from Flight Sim Expo. The guy was jumping around, very happy because wow, Microsoft Flight Simulator was announced. Ah!
wait, it wasn't.
And then
Oh,
I'm coming back from a wonderful dinner with my good friend Melissa.
peaceful
And my
dinner without
phone
your
has
phone.
been off the entire time. I turn this on after she
Just
drops me off back at the hotel,
um,
and
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Microsoft did what?
But look, but look,
Um,
but look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Drew, right? You get to see these guys coming. Oh, one guy goes there, and here comes Drew, very chill. Oh yeah, because yeah. Oh, Drew, have you heard of? Oh yeah, I've heard about the. Yeah, but guy just chilling. Just
he exudes cool.
yeah.
Let's be honest. He's a Tomcat driver. He exudes cool. So we here because we want to talk about some of the we want to cover off some of the points that came out of the announcement. We also want to cover off some of the questions that are coming up as part of for that many of you in the community have been asking. But we also want to put we also make sure that we don't start dabbling in half truths and misunderstandings and just misunderstandings fundamentally. Um, because a lot of this for us is that this is a journey that the three of us coming together, we've trodden this path before, and we have some concerns, and we want to discuss those with you as a community because we see some concerning parallels, and we want to express our thoughts about Microsoft's announcement, as well as we want to talk about some of the things that you, the community, are asking, and some of the things that are being said in the community that have questionable sources of origin. So let's get started by talking about the release announcement. And probably a good way to start is going to be talking about the tiers that have been announced with that. Because I think that this is something that we do need to address, because it in some ways, sort of, some people are sort of like, oh, but what's going on with these tiering? And it's like, okay, well, it's not like this is a new idea, guys. So, like, for example, like, you know, for those of us who have long memories, remember when Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 came out?
Two versions.
How many editions came out again?
Two editions.
Two, that's right. There was the standard edition, and then there was the deluxe edition.
Yep.
This isn't. And what was the difference between the two editions? Anyone remember?
More aircraft and airports.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You got more aircraft, and you got some. You got a couple of photoreal airports with it. Like, so guys, yeah, this isn't something that's unexpected. But the really important thing here, guys, is that the editions that you get, whether you get the basic edition or whether you go all the way for the premium deluxe, what are you getting as part of all of those packages?
Most important, the price is not the price of the deluxe one. You have 3 different prices.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to pay $120. Right? You don't have to. You can, but you don't have to.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's up to you, and for you to decide, for us to decide as simmers about what versions do we want. And at the end of the day, guys, here's the thing, is that you are getting whichever edition you buy, and including the basic one, there is something for everybody in that basic edition. So in the basic package, you're getting, wait for it, the whole planet. Yeah. Like, you know, you're getting everything, guys. Like, you're getting the full simulator experience. You're getting all the physics, all the dynamics. You're getting the overhauled world. You're getting the whole planet's worth of over 37,000 airports.
Wait. Can you repeat that? Can you say that again so that people just
yeah, that does bear repeating.
Repeat it slowly. How many airports?
Okay, let me take a moment. 30.
How many airports does Microsoft Flight Simulator ship with?
You get.
Please, Tristan.
Is it for 100 points of Jeopardy? 37,000 airports are included. Like, the whole planet, guys. Every continent, every mountain range, it's all done. It's all there for you. And it doesn't matter whether you get the basic edition or premium deluxe. You will get that experience.
Yeah. Right off the bat. That's the first thing that we want you to understand.
Yeah.
It's all there.
And yes,
so,
if you try, just like you could in FSX, you can fly around the whole planet.
Yeah.
It might take you a long time, but you can do it.
As the Flat Earth Society loves to say, the Flat Earth Society has members all across the globe.
Exactly.
I can't even make this stuff up, man.
Which is represented in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yes,
Yeah.
37,000 airports. That
Having
means...
That said, why is it that people... Then why is it that people are saying that we are only getting 40 airports? Right?
Funny you should mention that.
That is a great question, Sergio. It's a great question that you have there.
Drew, can you please tell us why is it that people think that only 40 airports, or 40, right, are present on Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Well, the short answer is people don't know how to read.
Thank you.
No, seriously.
Sorry,
seriously.
actually,
Seriously.
I'm going to interrupt this one because can we just have a name check? Can we have a moment of check here? What was this simulator called again?
The name of the simulator is Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's it.
But surely, Mr. BelGeode, you're forgetting something, aren't you?
No, I am not. That is the official name, is Microsoft Flight Simulator. There is no 2020 on the end.
But why is there no number?
But wait, why won't I be confused with any other of the previous FSX, FS 2004, FS 2002?
Well, let's think
Oh wait,
about that for a second. What the hell does FSX even mean? Flight
Dun
Simulator
dun
10,
dun.
which is
look,
definitely not this one.
I have
If anything,
seen
this could be what? Flight Simulator 11? Or I guess if we're counting Flight
12.
Simulator
Yeah.
12?
Look, I have
Probably would
seen
have been a
guys.
better name for it, but
I have seen guys call it FSX 2020.
yes,
So
I've seen that as well. That does not
yes,
exist. That is not what you are purchasing.
it's almost it isn't the same thing, but it's almost like saying that I'm getting FS Explain 2020. It's a different sim. X is a version of the sim, guys. That's what distinguishes FSX from the previous flight simulators from Microsoft, right? So if you're saying Microsoft Flight Simulator, you are not getting confused with any of the previous ones because the previous ones had different names.
And
Microsoft decided to ditch all numbers from this one. So
and
yeah,
and probably just as a thing, I know there are a lot of people saying, oh, but it's going to confuse everybody. It's like, well, what they're actually and they've said this is this is a reboot, and this is the start of a
yeah.
new, excuse me, a new journey for them. And much like Windows 10, they've said that Windows 10 will be like the last version of Windows. It will just keep evolving of Windows. It will just be Windows 10 and evolve. They're going the same kind of route and consideration here with Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're saying, you know what, we're just going to evolve this sim, and so they just said, let's scrub the version numbers, let's scrub the years and everything else in here, and just go Microsoft Flight Simulator. So guys, just remember that. But sorry, I do distract. Please, Mr. BelGeode,
But
please tell.
that is actually sorry. That is actually exciting because that means just bear with me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
That is exciting. The fact that they are removing the version because what is it that they are trying to tell us? They are trying to tell us that they are here for the long run.
We
They are
hope,
not
yes.
releasing this version and then getting a new version next year and then getting a new version next. No, they're here for the
Oh,
long run. They are doing
like a certain other simulator that is up to, I believe, their 5th version now.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and all of a sudden you have to buy it again. This is it doesn't seem like Microsoft is trying to do that. They are getting a sim into the market that they are just trying to project it into the future. That says a lot to me. That says a lot to me. Okay,
yeah,
sorry,
it's a
back
new
to
baseline. It's a new standard that's being set right here.
Yep.
I've been saying
yeah,
this all week since the announcement broke, and trying to remind people this is not the finish line, as it were. This is not the culmination of everything. This is the starting place. This is the beginning of a new journey. All of us who are into flight simming at some point in time, we're probably hooked up with like FSX or FS9 or even going way back to the first flight simulator and so on and so forth.
Oh, Sublogic days, yeah.
Right.
yeah.
This is the new standard.
Mm.
This is the new standard that's being set right now by the same people who, have been behind it throughout all these years. So, with that having been said, yeah, you're getting the 37,000 airports. You're getting all the new technology that's coming out. So that means the Azure, the partnerships with, what is it? Medio Blue and FlightAware and all those things to bring in real world weather, to bring in real aviation traffic and so on and so forth. All of that stuff is being levied onto the new sim. Now, as far as what you're purchasing for your money, so the baseline standard package is what, $59.99 or $60 we'll call it,
US, yeah.
US,
Or your equivalent,
and
or
then
your regional equivalent.
or the regional equivalent, yes. And then of course the deluxe edition, which is the next step up, is like 80 or so.
Yeah, 90
I don't
bucks.
remember the exact
Yeah.
figure. Yeah, something like that. And then of course premium
20.
deluxe, the top end, if you were, that's 120 US dollars. What does that mean as far as, what you're getting? Well, I already told you all the basic stuff that you're getting with that, but in addition, you're getting high quality airports, basically airports that they've given love to. They polled the community, the at large or whatever, to find out which airports are like the most iconic, and this is what you're getting. So with the standard edition, you've got 30 airports that have that extra loving touch to them that are pretty much accurate to real life if you've ever been to any of the airports that are listed. And you're also getting 20 aircraft. Now, this is important to note. As far as the aircraft, you're getting something from each category, with the obvious exception of helicopters and fighter jets. I know we can shake our fist at Microsoft, or actually, I'll do the finger wag because I haven't
I
done
was going
that
to say,
in a
you haven't
long
done the
time.
finger wag for a while, you know. So well, you're on
But yeah,
notice,
obviously we're
Microsoft. You've had the
missing
finger wag. Hmm.
we're missing those aspects. But for anyone who does like the tube liners or a GA or a light sport aircraft, there's something for everybody in all three of these packages. Now, as you get higher up in the tiers, like the deluxe edition, the $80, $90 one, you end up with 25 aircraft. So that's 5 extra aircraft that are not in the basic, but are not required. You know, like you don't have to have those 5 aircraft, unless, of course, there's something that you're particularly interested in. Same thing with the airports. You get 5 additional airports that have that extra loving touch on there. And then as you go up to the premium, you get a grand total of 40 airports. So if you're keeping track at home, it's 30 in the basic one, 35 in the medium tier one, and 40 deluxe airports, as I would like to call them, in the top tier one. And then for the aircraft, it's 20 for the basic one, 25 for the medium tier one, and 30 for the deluxe ones. Will you use all of them? That's up to you. And the question comes up a lot on Facebook about, is it worth it to do this? Is it worth it to do that? The answer is only you can set the worth of this. Is it worth it for you to have something like a 787, which I believe is only available
That's in the premium,
top tier one?
top tier one, and that
Yeah.
right there is something that the three of us always talk. We really try and live and breathe this philosophy that simulation is a very, we do it as a community, but it's a very individual thing. So what is the simi experience for you is different from what Drew has, from what Sergio has, and from what I have. So I personally will put a lot of value on. I'll put a lot of value on an Icon A5 because I absolutely love that aeroplane. And so for me, that's my thing. But I know there are other pilots out there who absolutely love 787. So that's the one that they have their value on. So
Well, you, my friend, happen to be in luck because the Icon A5 is available in all 3 versions.
I know. So it's about, it's the thing that we talk about a lot, is that everybody's simi experience is unique, and this, and again, as we've just said, is that this is the beginning of a journey which is going to be supportive of that. And it doesn't matter which edition that you get, there is something there for you. Is there going to be something else that you may want in another edition? Very possibly. But it's up to you to decide. Now, one of the things that we don't know yet is what's going to happen post-launch. Now, at the moment, as I said, this is all pre-release. This is all pre-order, pre-release. So you can look at, you can pre-order any of those 3 tiers. But we don't know exactly what's going to happen post-launch. So let's say, for example, you are somebody who really likes the 787, and the 787-10 is only currently available in the Premium Deluxe tier. But the other stuff doesn't interest you. We don't know at the moment if you can just buy the Premium Deluxe tier of content and merge that with just the base edition. We don't know if that's going to be possible after launch yet. Microsoft haven't said anything, and we don't know. And that is something that hopefully, we've asked the question, but Microsoft haven't given us an answer yet. But given the fact that if you dig around inside the store, each of those tiers are a separate activation item inside the sales package, I think that it's probably safe to say that, given the way other DLCs are sort of structured and other titles, that you'll be able to, most likely, we said we can't guarantee this, but it would suggest itself that you could, post-release, get just the basic version and then just get the premium tier add-ons, and bypass the deluxe tier if there's nothing of interest there for you. So
I can say that it does lean towards the fact that you may be able to update at a later date, because as I'm looking at the purchase site now, I do see additional icons for the higher tiers underneath, like the base edition.
The activations.
So it sounds like they may go towards, hey, if you want to purchase just the basic right now and then maybe add on for like a smaller fee or something like that, you may be able to add that on. We don't know that yet. We do not know that.
But here's something that we really want to highlight to everyone is that one of the great things about, because one of the questions that we always get is we see a lot of, is my hardware going to be good enough? Oh, is the sim going to be everything that I want it to be? Is it what it is? It this, whatever? Is it that? One of the things that is a challenge, particularly, is people getting an experience of the sim, maybe trying before they buy it. Now, one of the things that's interesting with Microsoft, and it caused a lot of consternation when MSFS was first announced last year, was first to Xbox Game Pass. Now, that phrase caused people to throw up their arms in horror, going,
"It's an arcade game!
It's an arcade! It's gonna be on consoles! Oh, you're charging us all this money! It's a subscription!" So tell me, is there any mention of ongoing subscription in any of these pricing tiers currently?
There is none whatsoever.
Nope.
But what there is, folks, is there is mention of Xbox Game Pass. Now, Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft's is there. It is a subscription service, but it's no long-term lock-in. It's a month by month. You get a range of games. It's I know you can get a trial for $1, but I think it's about $5 a month. Is that right, Sergio?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's $5 per month for the PC only version. Yeah.
$5 a month. It gives you access to a wide array of games from Microsoft Studios. From Xbox
Not
Studios.
just Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get access to other games. You put it better than anyone that I know. Tristan, how do you usually say that?
Yeah,
How
sorry.
do
So
you
the
usually
best.
work?
So some people have been asking this week, what is this Xbox Game Pass thing? And it's like, and it dawned on me, it's Netflix for games.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
You understand the concept of Netflix?
Yep.
You understand the concept of Netflix for games. It's exactly the same thing.
Yep. So
That's the thing.
And an important thing that needs to be said as well. I know a lot of people have been giving a lot of flack because of the word Xbox. Yes, Microsoft has said that this flight sim will eventually be ported over to the console Xbox. That's coming after the release of the PC version. However, in this particular instance, if you go to the website and they talk about, the Xbox Insider and so on and so forth, that's for PC. The important distinction you need to make is that Xbox is actually the name of Microsoft's gaming service. Whether it's for PC or for console. That's the name. It's Xbox.
Exactly. All of Microsoft's, so all of their productivity products, bit of wordplay there, they all fall under now Microsoft, the Office brand, in the same way that all their gaming and entertainment fall under the brand name Xbox. So Xbox isn't just about a console now, it's about a genre, it's about gaming. And that is across... It's a brand.
It's a brand.
So it covers across whether it's on console or on PC. That is still an Xbox. It's an Xbox. It's part of Xbox Studios. So it's just please don't get your knickers in a twist about that, folks. So, but with the idea of this is that if you do want to give it a try and you're sitting on the fence about it and you're not sure, is it for me? Especially. And we get it. Especially if you've got Prepared or X-Plane or FSX and you've sunk thousands of dollars into your add-ons. We get it. Probably more than most do. But you're like, I'm not sure about it. I've seen some things online. I've seen some videos, but I want to see, does it run well on my system? Is it everything that it's cracked up to be? You can get on to Xbox Game Pass for PC, and you can try it. There's no long-term lock-in contract with Game Pass. It's just a monthly subscription. So if you only want it for 1 month, you only have to have it for 1 month. But you get the full version. It's not a demo. And remind me again, Drew, what do you get with the basic edition? The basic edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. You get
37,000 airports around the world, plus everything else that it comes with it, the live traffic, the live weather, the so on and so forth. Plus, you get the additional, what is it, 30 airports and 20
So you
aircraft.
don't get the bonuses. You don't get the premium or the deluxe airports, but you get all you get the 30 basic airports and the 20 aircraft. So that's, and again, those aircraft cover everybody's tastes. Whether you're into
Except my
GA,
Tomcat. Where is my Tomcat, Microsoft?
and there's no helicopters there, unfortunately, at this time.
There's no
And
helicopters either.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter
But
whether
that
you're
actually
into.
brings to mind a good point, though.
Mm.
Seriously. Okay, Sergio needs his helicopters. I need my fighter jets. What about third parties? We already know that they can, help out in that equation.
Mm.
Has Microsoft even thought about how they're going to incorporate third parties?
And that's
enter the marketplace.
Exactly, enter the marketplace and enter developers that have been, some of the developers that have publicly said, yes, they have content in production for it. Others have said that they want to work towards it. And there are others out there that haven't said committed either way. There's been a couple of really important conversations that have been happening around that. And it's a great segue into that, in having that experience.
And Microsoft addressed it. Microsoft addressed it recently. They have talked about the fact that they are going to have an actual marketplace inside Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, there's something that people need to understand is the fact that just because there is a marketplace, so a store from Microsoft where third-party add-ons can sell their products, that does not mean that that is the only way for you to be able to purchase your add-ons. You can purchase them directly. You can still purchase them directly from the developer. Orbix just came out with that some time ago, with that notion some time ago, saying that we're going to have our products on Microsoft's marketplace, but we are also going to sell our products directly.
Now that is a really important part that a statement, Sergio, that I'm going to pick up on, and I really this is a really big point for me, and it's a personal. It's a personal bugbear of mine, is that
we know.
okay, so as we alluded to it as we started this, and we're going to circle back. We're sort of bouncing around a few points here, but I want to circle back to one of the things we said at the start here, is where the three of us have been on this journey. We've been on this journey. This is not our first rodeo. We've like many in the sim community, we've seen sims that have had promise, and we've seen them wither and die. Unfortunately, they've usually withered and died in a big way because of us. And one of the things that we're here talking about and talking to you guys today is because we want to we want to curtail, we want to make sure we want to minimize the misinformation, and we want to have a conversation about misinformation that is out there, and we want to try and squash it. So for those who might remember back to the Microsoft Flight days, and those especially who remember with Dovetail Games when they were with FSX Steam Edition and with Flight Sim World, there was a certain prominent member of the community that seemed to make it their business that they wanted to tell everybody that Dovetail were this big evil giant, and they were making it mandatory that if you wanted to sell your content as a developer, for either FSX Steam Edition or for Flight Sim World, that you must sell through Steam and you must sell through the Dovetail Games Store. That was complete and utter bullshit.
Yep.
The individual in question had made it their mission to denigrate that developer, rightly or wrongly, and they made it their mission to spread this misinformation. Now, unfortunately, because their voice was very loud and very influential in our community, a lot of people listened. And rightly or wrongly, Dovetail Games did not handle the situation very well either. So, they're not faultless in this, but what their position was that we would they preferred it if, yes, you sold through Steam and you sold through their marketplace, because that will allow the opportunity for them to make sure that it was integrated. They could then offer customer support through the same support channels, and they could actually help you as a developer reach more customers and leverage off their marketing. So actually there was benefits to both sides. And okay, yes, they would take their cut. But they never said you couldn't sell your content for F6 Sim Edition or for Flight Sim World, or back in the day for Microsoft Flight, without, you had to go through them. You could still sell it through your own channel. Now, as I said, I saw many publications, many posts saying that, oh, Dovetail are evil, they're stopping us from selling our content. Nope. Complete lies, complete bullshit. And it was really unfortunate to see that happen. Now, fast forward to this week, when Orbix announced and confirmed this week that they are developing and intending to develop and bring their content over to the Microsoft Flight Simulator platform upon its release. First thing was very interesting was that suddenly the community was very, very happy that there was a Microsoft-run store and weren't complaining about that. That was a very interesting.
Some of the guys were actually happy because, oh, look, Microsoft can then just control the quality of the products.
Yeah, exactly. Fancy that.
Exactly what Dovetail Games wanted to do some years ago.
Anyway, so skipping straight part that sort of hypocrisy. But then the key part was that Orbix said it was a single line, bottom of their press release. We will sell on the marketplace, Microsoft Marketplace, and we will sell directly to you as the customer. Which means, now what that means, folks, is that means everybody is able to make content for the new Flight Sim and sell it directly to you, the user. You don't have to go through Microsoft. Now, will there be benefits of going through the platform? As Sergio just pointed out, that yes, you'll be able to get the quality control. You'll have the endorsement then of Microsoft saying that you've undergone the rigorous testing that they would put you through as a developer to be able to get that. Are they going to take their cut of it? Sure, absolutely. But
that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
One of the things that people have been asking about Microsoft Flight Simulator is how is it that Microsoft, and that's what was actually one of the reasons why people thought that Microsoft Flight Simulator was going to be subscription based, was the fact that the sim uses a lot of different services.
There's a lot of data. There's a lot of data flying around.
Yeah,
there's a lot of data. There's a lot of services. You have weather services. You have the scenery service. You have real-time traffic service. You have a lot of things that are going through Microsoft servers and Microsoft Cloud. And people are asking, how is it that Microsoft is going to actually pay for those bills, right? And here's the thing. One of the things that we see a lot in the community, which I think it's important and it's good that I see people saying that, is the fact that people want to support developers directly, and they try to do it by trying to pay the full cost of the product directly to the developer. So, for example, if Tristan is building something like a mission pack or an aircraft or liveries or whatever, I would rather buy directly from Tristan and get Tristan to receive all the money for his hard work. I'm a software developer. I would like people to do that for me as well, right? That's the thing. Why should I give Microsoft percentage of your profit if I can give all to you, Tristan, instead of them? But here's something.
Mission pack coming soon.
Yeah. But here's something new. Here's something that I'm not telling people to do this or do that. I just want people to think a little more before getting their add-ons from the marketplace or whatever is it that they're getting their add-ons. Speaking of which, probably getting the add-ons from inside the marketplace is going to be really fast really handy because you don't have to leave the sim and download stuff and copy stuff into here and there and whatnot. You just get it from the marketplace, click install,
Yeah.
and it will do all the magic for you.
Like,
Okay.
think, because just breaking from that for a second, think about it, folks. If you buy, okay, so let's take
Explain, prepared,
any
verify,
of the
any of the
Sims, any of the Sims.
others.
You
Yeah.
have to buy it, you've got to log in, pay for it into a website somewhere, you've then got to download the installer, you've got to extract the installer, you've got to run it, enter in
Unzip it.
keys, blah, 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 then fire your sim up. I mean, at
These
best,
crashes. And this crashes.
I mean, at best, okay.
And post on Facebook, why is this thing not working? Or,
And then
this
goes
company ripped me off.
and Drew comes off and writes RTFM.
Almost certainty.
But and even in the best case scenario at the moment, the best case we've got is probably Aerofly for Steam, where you buy something through the Steam store and it downloads through the Steam store and installs that way. But it's still not in the sim, which is what
Right,
Microsoft
you can't
are now
keep
offering.
the sim running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's running. But you do it all from within the sim. But here's what I would like for the community to start thinking about. We know Microsoft has money. We know all that. Oh, it's a big corporation. Bullshit. Here's the thing. Microsoft has expenses with the cloud service, and even with partnerships. Partners are not just doing this for free for sure. There are expenses all around the sim, not just from the development of the software, but to keep the software running. Now, here's the thing. If Microsoft is taking a cut from whatever is it that they are selling through the marketplace, they are probably going to use that profit to actually buy and to actually pay for all the services that they will be using for years and years to come, right? That's the thing. And it's also a way for Microsoft to understand that Microsoft Flight Simulator is profitable, not just because of the sales of the actual sim, but also because of sales of the add-ons that they have in the marketplace. And this will get Microsoft, not the developers of the sim, but the people above them, the guys that make decisions, the guys that decide to just close the tap and there's just close the faucet and there's no more water for anyone.
Yep.
The same guys, well, not the same, but the structure that years ago just shut down the flight simulator. The flight simulator part, the
FSX killed
Yeah,
FSX, killed Flight. Yep.
the
As I
same
like to
guys
call
that
them, the suits.
the suits, yeah, the guys that so this will tell them that the sim is profitable, that it's worth investing in the sim. So here's something that I want you to understand. Even if you want to stick it to the man, like people love to do it. I'm going to buy it directly to the producer and stick because Microsoft doesn't need the money. Yeah, they may not need the money, but the guys that are developing the sim, they need to show evidence to the suits that the sim is profitable. It
Yep.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It will survive on its own. It's good business. So they will keep on developing the sim. They will keep on getting into they have a 10-year plan for the sim. They told us this back in September. They have been telling this from the start, and they have told us face to face. They have a 10-year plan for Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's their plan. And I would like that plan to be extended to 20, 30, 40, 50. I want this. I want all sims to live forever. I want this sim to live forever.
What's going to cost money for that?
And
That is going to cost money.
And
It's
this
not
is
your.
what we've got here is like one of the classic things. Is folks is that a lot of the things that we ask for, is we want to have features like live weather. We want to have features of a better aerodynamics simulation. We want to have traffic data. This is stuff that we've all been asking for years, and a variety of add-on content is out there to provide those services to us. But they all cost money to get and to keep running. So it is something that we've asked for this. Microsoft are giving it to us. Um, and it's part of that, and we need to make sure that we're ready to receive it. Is kind of is sort of what we're leading towards here, because we've got this great opportunity to have all this amazing content come to us, and we've got this great opportunity. We've got this new sim, new technology, new generation. We need to make sure that we are not putting it down before it even gets off the ground. Which is, it boggles my mind. Like a classic thing that I've seen this week is, sadly, unfortunately, there was an NDA breach this week. It was a very big one. That was which showed not necessarily a current alpha build, but it was a fairly recent one. And it was showcasing the current, it was showcasing, I can't, it was the Airbus, and where it was flying over somewhere, and there was a classic kind. It was like somebody said, "Oh, it's too cartoony."
That still gets me.
And I literally, I couldn't help myself, and I literally went, "Have you looked at Prepared lately?"
Mm-hmm. Or Explain.
Explain. And then
I love the hell out of Explain, but yeah, I gotta say.
And this is the thing, guys. It's about what's out of the box. And then somebody said, "Oh, but my Prepared looks so much better." And I asked that individual, and I said, "With how many thousands of dollars of add-ons?" Now, to this particular user's credit, he came back and he acknowledged that, yep, there were several $1,000s worth of add-ons that were included in his Prepared to make it look the way it did, which he felt was better than what he saw in this preview. But he's comparing thousands of dollars of additional software to something that's coming out of the box for $60. Think on that for a second here, folks. Now, I personally, from the videos that we've seen, now here's the other thing, is that a lot of us are saying, or people are saying, "Oh, but I don't know enough about the sim." It's like, have you not, or we don't know anything about the sim. It's like, have you not been watching the videos from Asobo and Microsoft? And this is, again, what we want to keep talking about here, guys, is that one of the pet frustrations that all three of us have is that there seems to be this clickbait mentality on Facebook and YouTube at the moment. Now, there was, I want to say, about 15 of us who attended, 15 or 20 of us who attended the preview event in Renton last year.
I think over the 2 days it was a total of 30, but the majority of us that are into YouTube and so on and so forth went on the first day.
Day one, yep. So you'll notice that those of us who were there on the first day have not done such things, because there seems to be this clickbait mentality where people grab the Microsoft's release and Asobo's release video, put the visuals up, or selectively pick visuals out of it,
rebrand it,
put their own brand on it, completely erasing Microsoft stuff, and then put their own narrated bullshit on the top, where they clearly didn't watch or listen to the original Microsoft release video, and are picking up certain points and running with, "I heard this from so-and-so's brother whose nephew-in-law happens to have been in the alpha."
Keyword, been, because if they're talking, they're not in the alpha now.
And there's this, and unfortunately, and then the problem is that somebody then goes and watches this video, this clickbait video, and then thinks that that's an official Microsoft position. And we end up with this Chinese whispers nonsense going around, where it's like, "Oh, the flight model's rubbish, it's crap."
How do you know?
Have
you tried it?
Have you tried it?
Oh,
And this exact point is deja vu. Yeah. It's PTSD for me, back to Microsoft Flight. Because Microsoft Flight, I remember point blank going to a whole bunch of people on AvSim and going, they were like, flight model is rubbish, it's crap, it's terrible. It's like, how many hours do you have in flight? "I don't fly in that rubbish, I have FS9.
let me just add, because I'm pretty sure it should be common knowledge by now. Every single one of us that attended the little Microsoft shindig, it should come as no surprise to you all that we have been helping Microsoft this whole time. Now, take from that what you mean. Obviously there's an NDA in place. There's information that we can't tell you.
that we may or may not know, that we may or may not be able to say.
But I say that to say, if you see any of us in the community that you know for a fact, because our videos are there, permanent record on YouTube, that we're there and, know what's going on. If we are dissuading you on certain things that we are currently seeing being portrayed, you may want to pay attention to that.
Yeah, that's kind of a big red flag. If one of the guys, and it's like Tristan said, I don't see any of the guys that went to that event doing any sort of those clickbait stupid videos saying this or that about the scene.
We don't need to.
This is
Microsoft has done a good enough job.
This is
Yes,
about this forum here is about as close as we get to clickbait. And then we've only assembled like this speaking about Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think other than the episode we did at Renton, I think we've done one other episode on Flight Sim, and that was after a announcement from Microsoft. And again, we're back here because again, we have officially released information to discuss with you guys and to express our concerns and our positives, our what we're excited about, and our concerns about.
Stuff that we actually can share. That is not covered by an NDA. It is public knowledge. Believe me, there's a hell of a lot more I'm sure we'd love to be able to tell you, but it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I want to share a secret with all of you.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Yeah. There is something. There is something. Come on, Drew. This is serious. Come on. There's a thing called official website.
Sorry, Sergio. You're assuming people read.
Well, I did say earlier.
Look, don't they like to watch? Everything is done on YouTube nowadays. I've been getting flack because I don't do enough videos for Helisimmer.com. Yeah, I like to write. I don't like to actually make videos, and I don't have the time to actually make videos. It's time consuming. Yeah,
So I got told off on one of my videos in a comment on one of my videos the other day, and so shout out to the commenter that did this, by the way. Cool story, bro. It said apparently I do not articulate myself well enough. Apparently, because he asked the question and I replied with like a sentence and an emoji, and apparently he's like, you should use real words. Don't use picture cuneiform. And I'm like, I hit him with this.
What is this, hieroglyphics now?
and I literally just wrote this entire paragraph, because I am not one who has ever been accused of being bereft and not using extensive amounts of language. The most common complaint I get about my videos is that they are too damn long and too damn wordy. Sorry. Anyway, moving on.
But if you like videos, Microsoft has videos. They have released videos. Yep. They have a full series of videos. You don't like to read? Watch those videos. Watch the official videos. Yep. And just, but all that is marketing. Because all the images are, they are being that's just special effects and they are being edited.
No.
Here's the thing. All the videos you are seeing from all the other guys out there telling all the secrets, which is just bullshit. Those videos are from Microsoft, right? Those videos are the exact same ones that you will see on the official Microsoft channel. They are not showing you anything that's not coming from Microsoft.
But the best thing about that, Sergio, is the fact that, and that was another big comment, because but these graphics here, they can't be that good. They've got to be curated. It's just marketing. It's just spin. Guys,
I hate seeing that.
Guys,
I really do.
The screenshots that you're getting and some of the video content you're getting is not coming from a Microsoft marketing team. It's coming from alpha testers. Simmers, just like you, just like me, just like Drew, just like Sergio. Simmers like us.
And you
It's
can actually,
our experience. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing that on current hardware, on a wide range of current hardware.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the experience that real simmers are having, not a lab, not a what's the not a lab experience or whatever it is. It's like this is real equipment, real simmers experiencing this.
look closely.
And the thing of it is, too,
Look
I
for
mean,
the NDA.
Yeah, they have the
when-
watermark with the names of the
Right.
users. So look closely. There's the name of the guy there. Right.
it's right
That's
there.
a user.
If anything, what we saw in Seattle, I dare say, has probably improved since then.
Oh, yeah, well, of course it has,
yeah.
and it has improved.
But it's the same thing, though.
But that's just it. And the point is the bulk of the engine was done by the time we saw it in September last year. So yes,
Right,
there have been improvements. We can see that if you look at the video in the series released by Asobo, the official release videos that all the clickbaiters are stealing, is that you're watching the evolution grow. But fundamentally, we can see the evolution. We can see the track that it's on. And it's a really important thing here, the guys, that when you're looking for information, you get information, get it from official sources, get it from stuff that's, and it's going to sound terribly pompous and arrogant of me, and not sorry about this, but look for experienced, established members of the flight sim community.
Yep.
Go to experienced, established members of the flight sim community. And I'm not just going to say, yes, okay, I'll spruik the three of us, but go to Frugal Sim. Go to Jeff Faviano. Go to Ty Shuff. Go to Flight Shops. Go to people who are established. Their name is out there. We've been doing this an awfully long time. Okay, we're not people who've just come out of nowhere just to create a clickbait video here.
And these are the guys that are not giving you any bullshit. You don't see any videos about Microsoft Flight Simulator coming from them for a reason. There's nothing to talk about except what Microsoft is releasing officially. Right? Yeah. So whenever you see someone saying, "Oh, this is unseen footage of something," or "I have a secret," or it's just bullshit, guys. If it's not coming from Microsoft, just ignore it. If it's not coming from one of these guys, these established guys from the community that Tristan just said,
treat it with a sure, watch it, but treat it with a fairly hefty dose of citizens, and like a lot of things in life right now, fact check the damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And trust me, whenever we do have something that can be spoken about, without an
we'll
NDA,
be telling you.
You will know about it. You will definitely know about it.
And you will know from more than one source. It won't be just one guy saying that, when someone comes out, you'll see it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 YouTube channels, websites, whatever. People will be all over it. When you see that
just
happening,
like when we dropped the first videos, every single video,
we all dropped the same.
Everybody said they all sound the same because it's the same information.
When you see that happening, that's real. If you see some clickbait video of the guy just reusing Microsoft's footage and adding texts to voice shit on top of it.
Oh god, that one was awful. Jesus.
That's an industry. That text-to-speech thing now is an industry. A lot of people are doing that. You just grab a video from someone else, get some text-to-speech shit on top of it, and all of a sudden, look, I'm a YouTuber. No, you're not a YouTuber. You're just full of crap. You're not actually providing a service to the community. Sorry.
And that's right. But to also put this in context, guys, and this sort of, again, I want to circle back to some of the stuff we started talking about earlier in the video, is that, this announcement this week, it caught us all by surprise. We didn't know. Yeah. None of us knew. That's why we all were like, bah! Because straight up, I was ambushed, because the information, that I've seen, is that is it ready for release? That's a really good question because
I
one of the
think we have pie
conversations
charts on that.
we do have pie charts on that, which you guys will be starting to see in the thing down below here. Because here's the thing: is that, and this is a big question that's been asked, is this a full release or is this an early access release? I think that there was a comment made earlier that I think that maybe Eagle Dynamics has, I think they put a trademark out on
Yeah, they
early
probably
access at the moment.
trademarked
But
early access.
so recently, after the announcement was made, as November 24, there was a survey was put out to the community to answer to get some feedback, because we'd love to hear from you guys about what you think about a few short questions to ask about in the wake of the release of the announcement. So some of the data was really kind of interesting. So we had we had about 500 respondents over this. It was only over a couple of days that we ran this survey for. First question that we asked was, do you intend to buy at this moment? Do you intend to buy Microsoft Flight Simulator? 76% said yes, 19% said maybe, and 5% said no. For those that said yes, they're definitely buying. They said the question was, do you intend to pre-order the Flight Simulator? And 47% said yes. Which honestly, I was kind of surprised at. I was actually surprised that so many people were ready to pre-order.
We're living in a DCS world here. Come on
But
now.
I
This should be no surprise.
But okay, but
I
actually,
was expecting more. I was expecting more people to pre-buy it. Pre-order it.
So just diverting a little bit here from this one. So interesting little experience with pre-order. So something that I've observed. This is an Xbox standard, well, especially maybe more of console standard, is that when you pre-order, but definitely on Steam, when you pre-order something, you usually get a bonus that comes with pre-ordering. So you might get I don't know, like an extra skin, or you might get an extra mission, or you might get an extra level or an extra multiplayer map or something like that. That marks you as yes, you pre-ordered this product and you got you got some form of you get something, even if it's just like a forum icon, you get something to show that yes, you pre-ordered it. That does not appear to be that does not appear to be the case with Flight Simulator. There is just simply you pre-order it. That's it. There is no bonus, which is interesting. Actually,
there you go. That's a great idea, Microsoft. Make founders liveries for all of your aircraft.
Or maybe a Tomcat or a helicopter for those who pre-order.
Microsoft, if you need liveries
we got
done,
plenty of Tomcats around.
If you need liveries done for the founders livery, my commissions, my DMs are open. You can hire me, commission me for that.
He comes highly recommended.
So it was really interesting to see. As I said, it's interesting, Sergio, that you were expecting more. I was expecting less. So that's kind of interesting. For those that do intend to buy and pre-order, which edition do you plan to get? 79% are planning on getting the premium, the top tier.
The $120.
$120 edition. So 6% were getting deluxe, 10% getting basic. But what's interesting as well, and again, sort of circling back here to what we were talking about earlier, 5% were looking at Game Pass. So, and again, circling back to Game Pass here, it's for the price of a cup of coffee, folks, you get to try the basic edition. So with the edition that gets included with Game Pass is you get the basic edition. So you don't get the 787 or whatever, the additional 10 airports or additional 10 aircraft, 10 airports. But you get all the sims. So you get to find out, does the sim run your system? Is it the kind of sim that you want to fly in? Or are you happy with the sims that you've got? Or do you feel it's not ready for you? You can decide for the price of a cup of coffee.
I don't think Sally Struthers could give us a better deal than that.
And it's not just, but with Game Pass you don't just get you don't get just Microsoft Flight Simulator. You get everything that's in that catalog, which includes I think Sea of Thieves is in there as well. Minecraft's in there. You've got Oh, what's
Halo.
Halo? You got Halo. The Halo franchise is there in that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits to doing game pass, especially because if you do decide that yes, you know what, this is the sim for me, and you know what, I want to have, I really want to have that that master crafted version of Sydney International Airport and the 787-10 to fly to it from Los Angeles. Go ahead, splurge on the $120 and grab the top tier edition then. But it gives you that chance to find out. So that was an interesting one that the market's sort of very much geared towards. The pre-order market is very much going towards that. The other pieces of really interesting data that the data showed was that of those people that said either no, they weren't going to buy it, like they did not even just pre-order, they did not intend to buy, or they were a maybe, they didn't know whether they want to buy or not. The question was, would more information about the packages and content help you in deciding? So one of the things, again, that yes, okay, there's a lot of information about the sim, out there from Asobo, but since the release announcement, there hasn't been a lot of information. Not a lot of extra information's come out. So there's sort of this bit of this vacuum where you go, yes, okay, there's this chart that shows what's in the different editions, but what is it that makes a handcrafted airport different from the other 36,500, other 36,960 airports that are in the sim? What makes it different from them? Like, there's that kind of information is not there. So of those people, 40% said yes, having more information would have a bearing on whether or not they would decide to buy the sim. 18%
I'm
said
guessing most of that are probably the VR crowd, because we're still waiting for information on
again, that's another
VR
thing.
and Track IR.
There is zero information about that out there at the moment, which is concerning. So yes, so there's 40% that say yes, they need more, they would like more information, and that would make an influence. 18% said maybe, tell me the information and I'll see. But what was interesting was 42% of those no or maybes were hard no, I'm not getting it.
At all. Period.
Like,
Yeah.
no, you could tell me everything about it, you could tell me the source code, and I still wouldn't even contemplate buying it. If you're one of the people that said that, I'm really curious as to why you're closing your options down.
Right.
I'm genuinely curious. Right. Because my personal example, for my personal situation, for example, I always poo-pooed X-Plane. I thought it was rubbish. I thought it was nonsense because my initial experience was god awful. It was terrible.
Same.
it was absolutely diabolic. It was. I just went, how is this even being sold? I rated Flight Gear higher than X-Plane. But then I had people say to me, no, look, there are changes that are being made, improvements are being done, you should probably give it another try. Just see what you think now. And I circled back to it with X-Plane 10, and I was like, I still think it has issues, but I can see they're on the right path. And then X-Plane 11, I watched a lot of videos, YouTube videos of actual laminar stuff, and then again, people who have been in the industry. I watched Ty's streams. I watch VODs of Ty's streams because he flies X-Plane 11 a lot, or X-Plane 10 and 11. And I watched his streams and I went, maybe there is something to this sim. And now I love it. I don't fly it anywhere near as much as I should probably, but I don't fly any of my sims as much as I'd like to.
True.
But I've allowed additional data, like science. Additional data's come in and we've changed our minds. So I'm curious why those people are so... But maybe that's a reflection of the world we live in these days. I don't know.
Could be. I mean, I've had a similar experience with X-Plane myself when I first started out with X-Plane 10. Because of the fact that I didn't know anything about how to set it up and this, that, and the other thing, I actually uninstalled it. And it took until the Flight Sim Con, the first one that we had gone to,
Yep. Jesus.
before I actually took it seriously and got back into it. And I've been flying an X-Plane ever since, and I still love the hell out of it.
It was sitting in that guy's Cessna cockpit running X-Plane 11. That's where I turned the corner and I went, all right, this actually has.
But with that having been said, yes, more information is absolutely critical. I alluded to earlier the whole VR track IR thing. We need to know more to be able to, make an informed decision on that.
So
That's hugely important.
and this sort of, and that's a good sort of way to sort of talk about how to. So as much as we've talked about the positives here, that we're excited about this release, and it's a release date, we've got this great content coming, and blah blah, and we want to support the devs and all the rest of it. We do still have our concerns. So the final question that we asked in our survey was, from what you have seen and heard, do you believe the new sim is ready for release? 66% said yes. 34% said no, it is not ready for release. I'll be honest, basing purely off the information that's publicly available, I'm in that 34%.
Same.
Now, fundamentally,
and I already outlined the reason why.
Yeah, and fundamentally for me, the reason, my reason for it is, I think everything that I've seen about the flight dynamics, everything I've seen about the implementation of the world, of the live data is amazing. It's crazy what's coming through there. My issue fundamentally is track IR and VR. I don't use VR. I use track IR, but either way, not having some form of head or eye tracking is unacceptable. If I just want to stare straight forward in a cockpit, then I'll jump into an airplane heaven car and prepared.
Oh, don't even bring that up, dude. Oh my god, I have PTSD from that review video. Folks, in case you're wondering what I'm even talking about, watch Nova Wing 24's recent review video on the Cara. That's... oh. This is what's going on here in 2020. Why? I'm sorry, I just had to...
But this is the thing. It's fundamentally, I do not expect to have to rely on a hat switch or a mouse to be able to change the view. I should be able to, when I turn downwind, I should be able to look over my shoulder, see my wingtip in relation to the runway. As I said, I don't use VR, but I know VR is much the same for you, Drew, and for you, Sergio, especially when it comes to helicopters.
Yeah, it's a complete game changer. It's literally how I fly now. You know, without those points of reference, the whole thing just doesn't quite work as well. And this sim screams for that. It has from day one when we met them.
And it's much like, in many ways, funny enough, we'll speak of another sim that seems to have a lot of information. It has an information vacuum. Aerofly FS2. Aerofly FS2 is, from all reports, the absolute gold standard when it comes to VR compatible sims.
Yeah. Nobody has done it better, performance-wise, the way it was implemented, so on and so forth.
And yet...
of course, X-Plane is getting up there, and DCS is also getting up there, but yeah, they can't touch Aerofly's implementation of VR.
The information, please, for the love of God, Microsoft, do not take a lesson from Aerofly, from IPAX. Talk to your community. Jesus.
Right.
God.
Yeah,
Aerofly,
Microsoft is doing a much better job.
And they are. But
you know.
But what about helicopters too? I mean, Sergio, you've been quiet this entire time. I know you're
I can feel
probably
him brewing
seething. There's like a low simmer there going on, that whole helicopter thing.
Do you want my blood pressure to skyrocket, Drew? Are you trying to kill me and cause me to have a stroke? Because that's what I'm...
No.
I expect Microsoft to just, fulfill their promise and make good on on their word. You guys know that they were the ones approaching me back in Renton to talk about helicopters. I didn't have to ask anyone about helicopters. No, they came straight at me and talked about it and told me, look, Sergio, we're not going to have helicopters present from day one. because we don't have the resources to do them right now. We don't have the know-how to do them the right way. We don't want to do half a job. So we want to do, these are their words, we want to do helicopters properly. And they are counting on the community to help them do so. So I expect helicopters to, to pop up sooner or later. And I
Mhm.
expect them to be part of the core base of the sim,
Mm.
just like VR, track IR,
Yeah.
propeller of airplanes and jets and whatnot. It needs to be it needs to be a native feature for the sim as a core feature, not as an afterthought or
Right.
something that we are having. I don't want
Yeah. It
to buy an add-on to get helicopters to work on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I just want it to work from the start.
and that's a
That's
and that's a really big thing because I want to say because we again the three of us we are always on about community. We're always on about how we as a community we live in and Sergio, there was a very enlightening article that Sergio wrote on his website.
Oh, you mean the
Uh,
rant?
no, it's an
no,
opinion
it's even
piece. It's
lightning.
an
Come
opinion
on.
piece. Um,
Oh,
so
you did make some good points. Yeah.
but we live we succeed and fail together. Um,
Yeah.
so to round it out, guys, is that we need to think of this in bigger pictures. Because flight simming should be an inclusive hobby, which means that and by inclusive it means that it doesn't mean that no, what it means is that everybody's way of simming is valid. If you enjoy flying a Greyhound of the skies at 37,000 feet, punching into an FMC, and then sitting back and watching clouds go past for 4 hours or 12 hours, that is a perfectly valid way of simming. It is not my way of simming. It's not Drew's way of simming. It's not Sergio's way of simming. Sergio's way of simming is flying at, skimming at treetop height with an oil leak waiting to happen while his virtual aircraft goes to shake itself apart. I love your helicopter, Sergio, but seriously, there's an oil leak with path flying close for me.
Beating the air into submission.
Exactly.
He,
Drew's
he can
is
say,
flying.
Drew,
Drew, yeah,
Drew, he can say whatever he wants about helicopters. You know this is true. He is slowly getting corrupted and getting into helicopters. I see Tristan using
What do you
helicopters
mean?
more and more.
Yeah.
um,
Just wait.
Drew's is flying very fast, very low over Jamaica or over Papua New Guinea. It's flying at treetop height, with something loud
And
and fast.
occasionally landing on big boats.
Okay, so they're very very large boats on the sea. Um,
Mhm.
Mine is a little bit of everything. Mine is sort of everything from biz jets through to radial engine cargo haulers. You name it, I'll fly it. But none of any
Except
of
tube liners.
these. And I will toss. I'll jump onto a tube liner once in a blue moon. But I will. But the point is that none of these ways of simming is any less valid than any other. None is more
Right.
valid than any other. So we do this together. So when the new sim comes out, in whatever state it comes out, will it come out with everything that every simmer wants at launch? No. And I don't honestly expect it to. There were patches, there were add-on packs for Flight Sim 10. There were patches for Flight Sim 9. There were everything for X-Plane 11. The X-Plane 11 going through God knows how many beta editions at the moment.
We're up to beta 15.
The point is, though, guys, is that this is the start of a journey. And if we work together, if we support each other, if we grow together, if we acknowledge that, okay, I may like to fly airliners. Is that airliner 100% rivet accurate? Does it have study level tire smoke? No. Does it?
Thank
How did I
you.
know the tire smoke thing was gonna make a comeback in this episode?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But, but, does it give me and does it give my community access to platform, a quality of platform and quality of building tools and a level of immersion that out of the box leaves everything else in the dust and allows that all of our famous and hopefully other add-on developers will come to the party on. Does it give them an even greater platform to start from to build even better and newer amazing things? That's what we should be looking for.
Right.
You know, one of the big questions is currently, it's like, I want my 737. I won't buy it unless there's a 737 in it.
I told you I want my Tomcat. If I gotta wait, you gotta wait.
So can I just say, I'll straight up say to everybody who's asking for the 737, I'll straight up say to you, so okay, look, out of the box, we know that you are getting in the basic edition. Drew, what are the tube liners we are getting in the absolute? If you only pay $5 a month for Game Pass,
go back to the website.
you get 2 tube liners.
Yeah, you get
the 747-8 Intercontinental by the Boeing Company.
I love how they actually got the
And you
Boeing
get the A320neo by the Airbus Company. Well, I think they're just called Airbus. I can't call them the Airbus Company because Boeing might have trademarked that whole thing.
So you get 2 tube liners out of the box, and then if you buy the premium deluxe edition, you get 787 as well. So you potentially have 3 tube liners out of the box. Is there a 737 in them? No. Who's already committed to making a 737 for Microsoft Flight Simulator?
I know. Randazzo. Oh, sorry. PMDG.
Which apparently, according to everybody who flies Greyhounds, is the gold standard when it comes to tube liners anyway. So
I don't know. I've never used it.
So here's the thing.
But if TFDI says they'll do a 717, then I'm all on board for that, because that's like the only tube liner I'll really fly.
So guys, it's about, and again, as Sergio pointed out, it's about a journey. It's about creating a platform. And for the love of God, please don't let us get back to the point where we got to back in 2012 and where we got to back in 2018, where we watched this community tear apart what could have been 2 amazing sims. So if something, you have an opportunity now to be able to try the sim out and get it and get it going. Do we have our concerns? Yeah, we do. As I said before, we have our concerns, particularly around eye tracking, head tracking. We have a massive, and VR, we have massive concerns about that. One of the reasons why this announcement caught us by surprise. So, do we have our concerns? Yes. Will we like Microsoft to tell us more information? Yes. We have 4 weeks. We are a little over 4 weeks to release date from when this video is being recorded. That's not a lot of time, but it's also a long time in software development. So,
yep.
Who knows?
We don't know how far along they are in any of the things that we have concerns with. For all we know, they could pleasantly surprise us.
Yes.
Got to be at least open to that.
We got, even though there's not a lot of information about the alphas because of the NDA, the thing is, not even the guys that have the alphas right now may be aware of what is it that is going to be released. For all we know, Microsoft and Zobo have a completely different, they have a completely different build. The next builds are also, the builds that are coming up next are always different from the previous one.
Yep.
But we have no idea what is it that Microsoft has already as the release candidate build for the actual release on August, right? It can be, for all we know, and we don't know anything, but for all we know, it can have VR and track IR. I know for sure it doesn't have helicopters because they have been on it since day one, and they said that helicopters will only get into the sim after the release. Yep. It's not immediately after the release. It's not 1 week after the release or 1 month after the release. If I had to guess, I would say that they would probably won't start working on helicopters until the end of the year, because they need to release the sim, get it stable, get all
Yep.
the other car features into it, get everything ready for it to be just, top notch, stable, without any bugs, any issues, and then start working on something more complex like
Hmm.
helicopters. I would be honest. I'll be honest with you. I want VR in this sim,
Mm.
and I would be pleasantly surprised if they release VR until the end of the year. I just find it a bit hard for them to do until they actually stabilize the platform. The same for helicopters. Helicopters are not special in that
Right.
regard. It's not like they need to have everything perfect so helicopters are getting into the sim. They need to get everything perfect so that features that are more hard to do will get into the sim. I see VR as one of those features. I, w- I wish I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope VR
No, you're
comes.
absolutely right. We want it to be done right. The last thing that we want is for them to half-ass something like that because of how much prominence it's beginning to gain throughout the community.
Like a like
And
a
to Microsoft's credit, I will say this,
mm,
they have not lied to us at
that
all. They told us from the very get-go
Yeah,
that it was very likely that we might not see it initially, but sometime after. And the same thing with helicopters. They came right up to this man that you're seeing somewhere on your screen. I don't even know where he's placed right now.
this is the
But they
problem with
flat out
Discord.
told him, look, we
Mm.
want to have helicopters, but we want to do it right.
Yeah.
They've been truthful the entire time. They have not lied to us.
if
So
there's
So I
something
have
that
faith in them.
Microsoft,
yeah.
if there's something that Microsoft has been and Lenovo have been doing very well, they have never lied to us as as much as I know, as long as I know, they have never lied to us throughout this whole process.
Yep.
They may not be giving us the whole information because let's face it, they may not be able to do so.
Mm.
They got
They
to keep
don't
some
want
things under wraps. Yeah.
and I understand that they also don't want to raise any expectations and not being able to deliver. Look, if someone from Azubo or Microsoft came up 2 or 3 months ago and told you, "Oh, look, we're working on VR," and this information came out, and people knew that they're working on VR or track IR, I'm just throwing a feature, any feature, helicopters, whatever. We would kind of expect for VR to, oh,
Hmm.
look, they said they were working.
Yep.
Maybe it will come up on the release. So
Yep.
they're not
So
saying that, so
so they're
they
yeah.
don't raise
It's
expectations. They
it's it's
control it.
setting expectations is very important, and
Yeah.
But
yeah, being
they
open, being communicative.
never lied to us. They never lied to us during this whole process. They never promised something that they are not going to deliver, and they never said that they know we're not doing something that they are actually doing.
They never
Right?
said 2 more weeks.
They never said 2 more weeks
Yes.
ever.
So, folks, as I said, we wanted to touch base. We wanted to catch up with you guys because it's been a while. And this was a great time to chat to you guys. So, out of it, we are excited. We have our reservations, but we're excited to see what the future holds. We hope you guys are excited as well. So that's going to wrap up our episode of the Three Grumpy Simmers here. As I said, we wanted to try and dispel some of the myths that are out there. We want to establish the facts are. And please, folks, head over to the official website. Head over to flightsimulator.com. Read the news there. Exactly. Bookmark it. Use their official YouTube channel, their official Twitter account. Use that as your source of information, folks, because that is literally from the horse's mouth. Please do that. And please, like the old classic song, give this flight sim a chance.
I've never heard that song before. Can you hum a few bars?
Give peace a chance. Give peace a chance and give flight sim
Gotcha.
a chance. Give peace a chance. Give flight sim a chance. So, folks,
And in case you need a reminder, just watch some of like the first few episodes that we've ever done on Three
It's how
Grumpy
we got
Simmers, when
together.
We all went through that FSW period. We do not want a repeat of that.
I
So-
go all the and flight.
It's a cautionary
Jesus.
tale now.
Flight was a cautionary tale. So, with that, folks, thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of the Three Grumpy Simmers. I want to say thank my fellow Grumpies. Thank you to Sergio from Helisimmer.com.
See you guys.
And thank you very much to Mr. Drew BelGeode, who's Luna has he's stroking his evil genius, doing his evil genius cat stroking today. There you go.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Bond.
How does it go? $1 million.
1 million.
Luna's like,
vacancies.
dude, you need to quit this.
And of course, my name is NovaWing24.
But y'all, folks.
Don't forget to head over to helisimmer.com and have also for all your latest helicopter and simulation news. You can also find Helisimmer on Twitter and on YouTube. Give him a like and a follow there. And Mr. Drew BelGeode, you can catch up with him and all his adventures through simulators, vast and varied, and various other adventures as well by heading over to his channel.
More to
BelGeode.
come. Sorry I'm late.
He's got a lot. He's got a lot.
It's just been so busy.
Tell me about it. It's been busy for all of us. And of course, for myself, my name's been NovaWing24. Please consider giving us a like and a follow. Give us a like and a follow. It's Twitch, isn't it? So give us a like and a subscribe here on YouTube. And you can catch up with me, all the things I'm up to between videos, by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter at NovaWing24. And of course, you can catch this without seeing our ugly mugs over on Podbean at podbean.com/NovaWing24. Sorry, /3 Grumpy Simmers. Alright, folks. Thanks very much for tuning in. Take care. We're excited and nervous, and we will see you in the virtual skies somewhere again soon. Bye for now.